From Chicago streets to the courts beat, Sal, Scott, Dan on the podcast seat. Bulls breaking news, talking stats and views. Every player, every play, we never lose. Horns over hoops, we're the Bulls troop. From game analysis to fan scoop.
What's good, Bulls fans and Horniacs, and welcome back to a little show that we like to call the Horns Over Hoops podcast. We are your hosts for the evening, Sal-Bass, Scott Berman, and Dan Gracey. Full house tonight, gentlemen. I love it.
Yes, sir.
How's everyone doing?
Doing good. I mean, for a Monday.
For a Monday?
It's Monday.
As opposed to
For a
any other
Monday.
day?
I mean, Mondays always suck just because you're coming off, the weekend. And then I'm usually good by like Thursday.
You're feeling in the holiday spirit by Thursday?
And then, Friday is just, it's fuck it, Friday. Nothing really matters. And then you're off for the weekend. So,
yeah. Which, we're adults. So, I mean, like, what's the weekend anymore? I mean, really, chores.
Yeah, I mean, dude, being an adult that is also a homeowner, there's always stuff to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to throw like shade at you, Sal, or anything like that.
Yes,
a townhome is a home.
I'm not. No, you're right.
Sal,
you're
buy a
right.
house.
You're right. You just, have, your own people to mow the lawn and pick up all the garbage and, anything outside your townhome is taken care of for you.
You
Which, I mean, I live there as well. So took full advantage of it. Now I'm paying for not having
seems like a luxury.
HOA.
Looks like you took a step back then. Like I have, I mean, don't buy a townhome.
I mean, I can.
People.
Yeah, well, you can buy a townhome, but just to fuck the HOA.
Yeah, like just yeah.
Bottom line.
Oh my
Bottom line.
goodness.
Fuck the HOA.
Yeah, our HOA. Actually, I want to hear from them. I want to hear what your HOA is. Comment down below what your HOA is, because mine is going up to $362 a month.
It's ridiculous. See, that's $360 that I get to save, but it goes towards the mortgage. So
I wish I could put my HOA towards the mortgage. I wish. Scott Berman, how you doing? You're awfully quiet over there.
I'm not bad. I don't have an HOA, so that's fantastic.
It really is. Really is.
That was one thing that I refused to get.
Yeah.
Because they are dumb. They are dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. And then we always don't have. Anyway, I don't want to get into HOAs here, but welcome all. This is the first show of the Bulls regular season. The Bulls started the season not very good, actually. We're 1-2 at the time of this recording. The only team we beat was the Milwaukee Bucks, which, might I add, was a game that nobody expected us to win. That was such a good game, actually. It was probably one of the more like comfortable wins the Bulls have ever had. Wouldn't you guys say?
Yeah. It was surprising to see that the Bulls won that game. I mean, I was expecting them to lose.
And I think it was their home opener too. It was the Bucks home opener. We spoiled
Bucks
it.
Home opener. Yeah.
Yeah. At one point, I think we were almost winning by like 20 points. But speaking of home court and home, did you guys see? I'm going to bring this up because it's been all over the internet right now. Did you guys see that Miami Heat Hall of Famer Dwayne Wade finally got a statue outside of the stadium? And I'm laughing because maybe it's just me, but I know a lot of people would agree with me. What a ridiculous statue. That thing was absolutely horrible. The jawline. Have you seen the jawline on this thing? I mean, they gave him like a chiseled jawline, and you would think they would have given him a better pose. He just kind of had one of those poses where he's like pointing to the ground. Like what even is that?
Yeah. So even Dwayne Wade didn't know who that was supposed to be, because I mean, they said that's Dwayne Wade, but it doesn't look anything like Dwayne Wade. So, I mean, I personally hope that they remove the statue and put a new one up or something, because I mean, the man did Dwayne Wade give them their first championship? Or was that
with Shaq back in 06?
Okay. So yeah, I mean, the man pretty much dedicated his entire NBA, like without, with some little gaps, but majority of his career was with Miami. And you give him this joke of a statue.
Yeah.
So I mean, and Pat's a classy guy. I would assume that he would recognize that this doesn't look anything like D Wade. We need to do better.
Right.
Especially with all the artists and everything that's in the Miami area. Like, how do you botch this bad?
Yeah. Well, you got to think, like, actually, before I give you what I think, Scott, what do you think of the statue?
It's awful. And it's kind of been a thing recently. Like,
yeah.
Can you name a statue that was good? Like
the Jordan
Kobe
statue?
Well, yeah, but when was the Jordan statue made? Years ago.
Exactly.
The Kobe statue, there was typos all over it, and it wasn't that great. There was a statue.
AI?
The AI statue is
or whatever.
Tiny. He's just got a bust though.
It's tiny and does not look that good. And then you have, I don't know if you guys remember a couple of years ago, Cristiano Ronaldo got a statue and it looked nothing like him, and
that one was
awful.
That one was terrible.
That one is still a meme.
I'm just wondering, it's like, who's signing off on this? Like,
right.
You're installing this and someone's not going to say, hey, this looks nothing like him.
Yeah.
And also, why did they not do the pose of him after the LeBron?
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that.
Why is that not?
That's because that's such an iconic photo. And
you got to think, like, okay, I know that they can't really give LeBron a statue yet because he hasn't retired and everything, but like, even me and all three of us were huge haters of that team when they were up in arms, up in power. But like, wouldn't have been like really cool as if the statue they made of Dwayne Wade was like a part 1 of 2. You know what I mean? They have him with his arms up, and then LeBron James with like his dunk pose. Like, that would have been a sweet statue. You didn't have to give Dwayne Wade a statue now. I mean, you could have even waited. I mean, but like, actually, now that I think of it, wouldn't that take away from the individuality of Dwayne Wade?
What do you mean?
Well, I feel like Dwayne Wade did more for the Miami Heat than LeBron did, if you ask me.
For sure.
You know 100%. What I mean? So like, making his statue part 1 of 2 with LeBron James it kind of would have taken away from the individuality of Dwayne Wade, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, no, it would. I wouldn't give, if I fully don't, I don't think that the Heat will have a LeBron James statue. If anyone has a LeBron James statue, it should be Cleveland. That is it. Not LA and not Miami.
Yeah. Well, Scott, who deserves a LeBron statue?
Oh, you give it to Cleveland.
Okay.
But
he's done the most for them.
That pose is based on a buzzer beater against the Bulls in 2009 that said, "This is my house."
Okay. Well, we can get rid of that right now then.
Like, the Chicago native gets a statue about beating his hometown team.
Yeah.
The pose makes more sense, but the face looks nothing like him. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like, you would think, okay, real quick, like, you can 3D print anything nowadays and it looks incredible. And you're telling me that, like, you couldn't, I don't want to say 3D print bronze because I don't know the science behind whatever, but you couldn't produce some
3D print bronze.
Yeah.
So not quite yet.
Maybe soon. Yeah.
You could probably still get like the general outline of it, then go based off the outline. Hey, let's make this into bronze.
Yeah. Something would have been better than this, but
anything would be better.
Needless to say, because needless to say, the NBA is starting to get a bad reputation for their statues, like the ones we literally just mentioned, with the exception of the Jordan one. And it's not just biased. It's not just biased because we're from Chicago and we're Bulls fans. The Jordan statue is the best statue that you can have.
Did the Kobe ones, they just had typos, right? The actual statue wasn't like bad.
It was just
from what I remember.
Typos.
Yeah. No, the statue is pretty good. Yeah, the statue of him dunking, like I think that's what it was, right? It's
Yeah.
like him dunking on somebody. That one was pretty cool. But
And then
just
the one with
the
him,
typos
I
took
think he
away
has,
from the beauty of it. And they might
He
have
has
fixed
another
it
one
now.
with his daughter too.
yeah, he has one with Gigi, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yep. But as a whole, not good. And speaking of not good, gentlemen, the Bulls, as I mentioned before,
The
at time of
Milwaukee
recording-
Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks. Yes, I agree.
The Milwaukee Bucks, yes, they're not good.
We are 1-2. The season is underway. A lot of questions that we have. First and foremost, let's just get this question out of the way. What do you guys think of them so far, just as a whole, without getting into specifics?
If I had to like give him a letter grade, I would probably give him we're 3 games into the season, 1 of 2. I'd give him, I don't know, like a D plus.
Okay. What's your thoughts behind that? Like, why give them a D?
Because they looked good against the Bucks. Clearly when this team is firing on all cylinders and they're actually playing the system that Billy drew up, they do a good job. They push the ball up the court. They're running fast. They're pushing the pace, passing a lot, making sure that everyone gets a touch, and it results in winning basketball. And then the first game of the season, Zach came out strong. He looked really good, and then by like third quarter after halftime, he went back into the Zach LaVine show, and he was chucking up shots that weren't good, with plenty of time left on the clock instead of letting like a play actually develop. Kobe, I'm a little worried about Kobe lately. I don't know if it's like a Zach LaVine effect or not, but he's kind of turned. If he keeps playing the way he's been playing the last, I'll say 2 games, because with the exception of the Milwaukee game where he dropped 35, he's been looking kind of like the player that we all wanted to be traded a couple of seasons ago, where he's just chucking up shots and nothing's really falling for him.
Yep.
So like when Kobe's hot, he's hot, but when that dude's cold, he's ice cold, and there's no hope for him.
That's why they call him Sub-Zero.
I mean, I guess.
Scott?
Vooch.
Vooch,
okay.
continue. Please continue. Please.
Sorry,
Continue.
Vooch.
I heard
don't
Vooch,
know.
and I'm all ears. Please, let's shit on Vooch.
Okay, so I get why we extended him, but at the same time, so far this season, it's been a head scratcher. Like, really, we couldn't find anyone better.
Yeah.
Like I would rather start Jalen Smith than Vooch at this point. Yeah,
I'm liking Jalen Smith. I'm a big Sticks fan, man. I'm a big Sticks fan.
So, but yeah, I mean, Zoe looked like Zoe. He's looked pretty good for missing over 1,000 days of basketball.
Yeah, he did.
Giddey's Giddey. Like I don't think one way or the other. I think my expectations of Giddey this season were pretty high, and I'm learning that I set them too high for myself.
Yeah.
Or for him, I guess.
Yeah.
Because so far I'm not very impressed with Giddey.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, this Bulls team is just more the same of last season. Only we're not starting out as bad as we did last season. No player only meeting after the very first loss, after the very first game.
I forgot they did that.
Yeah.
Oh God, I did not.
Scott, thoughts?
So I was actually looking up some stats, and right now we're leading the league in pace of play.
That's a good stat.
It is until you look at who was leading the league in pace of play last year, and that was the Wizards. So,
Okay. Jeez.
Oh God.
Man,
So-
leave it to Scott, man. The give and take. I love his takes.
No, but that we've seen it. We're not playing as much ISO ball. We're moving the ball faster. We're taking quicker shots. We're taking way more threes than last year. I think we are averaging like 34 threes a game we're averaging like 47 now. So we're taking way more shots. We're not making them, but we're still taking more, and that's how the league's going. So might as well. Kobe can't hit anything anymore. Io's not really shooting. Zach's fine.
He's fine.
But yeah,
Just
the first 2 games with Giddey, he looked like uncomfortable. I feel like he looked pretty good. Actually, he looked pretty good against OKC. He was okay.
Yeah,
like he's getting he's getting more comfortable. He still can't shoot, and that was always his issue.
Yeah,
and he really needs to be the point guard, and we're not playing him at point guard still. We're still not letting him run the offense. We're running it through Zach or Kobe, and he's kind of going back to, he's expected to be a point-up shooter, and that's not what he is.
Right. So
P. Wills continues to be a bust.
I don't know. I could go on and on and on and on about Pat.
Smith is the only one that I think has surprised me.
Okay.
But other than that, what's his name? Ruzelis, he does not look comfortable. He does not look ready.
Nope.
So I don't know what to think of this team. I don't know how many players Billy's going to play too. One game he plays the whole bench, and then the next game he plays 8 players. So what's his plan?
Does he even know?
Yeah.
Does he even know?
So I don't know what this team is, but I know playing back-to-back games, going from Milwaukee, who should be a contender, to Oklahoma City, who is a top team in the league.
Legit contender.
Yeah. Which is crazy because they hit 4 threes all game.
Yeah.
Oklahoma did. And we got blown out.
Yep.
I was looking at the stats, and we were pretty much leading every category, yet we still lost. And
because you know what category we led? And
turnovers.
We should never,
turnovers,
26 turnovers resulting in 21 points.
Yeah. The first
that
game
was
we
our
gave
Achilles heel.
30
was the
points off the turnovers.
Right. We had 21 turnovers resulting for 30 points. That's insane. That's almost an additional quarter of points that we gave up just on turnovers.
Well, how many turnovers do you think we had during Milwaukee's game?
Probably 12. I mean, we still had a decent amount, but I think Milwaukee was doing a pretty good job themselves of turning the ball over themselves. I mean, I'm going to level with you guys. Milwaukee, judging from like just an outsider, they look like they're going through the similar problems we are as far as ball control, as far as not guarding the perimeter. Like, they didn't look that good either. I don't know I wouldn't say that we played bad against Milwaukee, because we played very well. We won the game. Yeah. But at the same time, like, would we have still won that game if Milwaukee would have played just a little bit better, up to their full caliber? I don't know. You know what I mean? Because it was a very close game up until about third quarter. Then the Bulls started to run away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We had 9 turnovers that game.
Yeah. There you go.
So half the turnovers, and that's why we won. Mm-hmm. Plus, Lonzo's not playing to slow the team down. Kidding,
yes. Stop.
The game we won, Lonzo's not playing.
I forgot.
The shade being thrown.
So what's crazy is that with all these turnovers, you wouldn't think that this team would have this many turnovers with how many ball handling players we have.
Very good point. Very good point.
I think about, before every game, Stacey King always says, like, you just got to handle the turnovers. Take care of the ball, take care of the game. But they constantly turn the ball over, and it's infuriating because we have so many ball handlers on this team, like Giddey, Zoe, Kobe, Zach. Like,
I mean, even Io. Io's a great ball handler.
Yeah, like, This team needs to figure it out.
You know,
This is
one thing
actually
I
a very good take.
did notice is Kobe seems to try to think he is just as good of a passer as Giddey.
Yeah.
And he was trying to
Yeah.
make like those behind the back passes or like the bounce passes between people. Like
Mhm.
after he saw Giddey do it, and it's like, dude,
Mhm.
you can't do that.
Right.
You
Not-
don't
not
have
yet.
yeah, you can learn it, but
Yeah.
that was part of it. But
Yeah.
also, I don't know, they force things.
So out of the shoot, what letter grade would you give them?
I don't think they're as bad as last year, so a C
Okay.
minus.
Okay. That's good. Oh, that's good. Good.
You know, I like the way the offense is being run, so I'm going to put it up to
Right.
a C. I think the biggest thing is the shots aren't falling.
Yep.
Like, how many open threes did we have that Kobe missed? How many open
Right.
threes did like the team miss? Just open
Right.
jumpers.
Right.
It's not like they're getting destroyed on the boards and like we're not getting rebounds, that kind of thing. It's
Right.
so many open shots.
Just the shot not going in.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I'm with you guys.
That's
like
Bulls basketball, though.
it is. But I'm with you guys. Here's the thing. I'm gonna piggyback off of Scott. I'm gonna give this team a C as well. And the real reason why is because taking everything into consideration, the fact that we weren't expected to be that good. It's a newer team, new chemistry, what have you. The only qualm I have is the Bulls are falling back into the same problems that we were having last year. We still can't guard the perimeter. We still take forced passes. We still take questionable shot selections. We still can't capitalize on rebounding. We still allow too many second chance buckets. I mean, the problem is like 3-point. Once you establish yourself as a 3-point shooting team or a shooting team in general, you're going to have those nights where they fall and you look incredible, but then you're going to have those nights where they don't fall and you just look awful. You cannot teach somebody how to shoot the ball and make it go in 100% of the time. It just doesn't happen. There's a reason why the highest average in the league is what, 40 something percent. So that you may have a player that hits six of 8 shots, 7 of 10 shots, and they look incredible that game. But then the next game, like Kobe White did, where you go 0 for 9, you look like you're having a terrible game, and it's just that it's a terrible game. The problem that we're having is more the fundamentals of not guarding perimeter, like I said earlier. The rebounding, Vooch is terrible on the boards. Absolutely awful. He doesn't squeeze the ball. He relies on this little like tap it out, and he's always tapping it to the other team. So I'm going to give him a C just because for a team that was not expected to do much this year, and for a team that were favored to be in the lottery, we don't look half bad. I mean, that Milwaukee game was incredible. That part of that Pelicans game was really good. I mean, we were leading, but that Thunder game, I mean, it's the Thunder. They're expected to win the championship this year. So what were the expectations?
After watching that OKC game, I now have Oklahoma above Dallas.
Oh,
for
yeah.
For the favorites out of the West.
Honestly, I knew we were going to lose, but it was like if we lost within double digits, I would have said that was just as good as a win. You can keep the title favorites to a victory under 10 points. That's a win in my book, in my opinion. So we talked a lot about it as far as expectations. Why has there anybody been actually exceeding these expectations? Like, wow, I didn't expect them to play that well.
No.
Short answer.
No.
Scott, anybody just been exceeding?
I don't know. I think Zach, I didn't expect him to. I thought he would come out pouty and crying. Mm-hmm. And he's the same player he was. So he can score 20 plus points a game.
Yeah.
I like what I see out of Smith. I wish he rebounded a little bit more and could shoot a little bit better. Julian Phillips, I think he's showing his potential.
That's like the only
Dalen-
one for me.
Dalen Terry, he's done. I'm done with him. He's not good.
Yeah,
He's not an NBA
garbage.
player. He should not be playing.
Scott, I talked
yeah.
to someone today that said that they would rather have Bronny on their team than Dalen Terry.
Stop it.
How do you feel about that?
Stop it.
I said I would rather take
Has
Dalen.
Bronny scored yet?
I don't know.
I don't even know if Terry scored yet.
I don't think Terry has. But Terry always like all right. So Dalen Terry is a solid defensive player, but anything outside of the defense, no, he's not there.
You can have your boy had a successful career as a purely defensive player. I'm talking, of course, Tony Allen. He had a phenomenal career.
When did this Tony Allen thing start?
Why do you not? Whoa, Tony Allen's about to get his jersey retired.
I think he did already.
Tony Allen.
Did he? Or is he making the? No, it's either he's getting his jersey retired or he's going to the Hall of Fame. One of those two.
Well, he already has his number 9 jersey retired.
Okay, so.
But I'm saying, I get what you're saying. Yeah, in Memphis, you'll see it tonight. I get what you're saying. Like, at some point, you either got to be. But again, Terry is not a defensive player like Tony Allen was.
No.
If you're going to be purely a defensive player, you better be a lockdown defensive player. You better be that player that people
clamps
hate.
on. And,
Correct. Correct.
Yeah,
like
Keith
your
Bogans.
runner test, like your Keith Bogans.
Keith Bogans.
Okay.
I'll short it. I mean, Keith. That's why we had Keith. So.
Yeah, that and to piss you off. But no, in all seriousness, I think the only player on this team who has surpassed my expectations would be Lonzo Ball, and that's just because he really doesn't look like he was out for 1,000 days. I mean, he really came in and was Lonzo Ball again. I know a lot of people are pissed off that he didn't play the Milwaukee Bucks game, but again, he's not playing back-to-back games. It was said at the beginning of the year. So the fact that people are upset about it is insanity because they said he's not playing back-to-back games. We played Milwaukee, and then the very next game is our home opener. So would you rather have him play a Milwaukee game, or would you rather him come out there for his home opener and get the standing ovation that he deserves? I mean,
I'd rather have him at Milwaukee. So I'm not going to a fucking Bulls game.
Okay. But then other than that, I'm with you, Scott. Julian Phillips has won my vote. He's just been a tremendous athlete. He's got energy. The shot will come. He's been hitting that shot, but the shot will come. I just want to see him develop more of an overall, all around game as opposed to just like the rim chaser and then the 3-point shooter. I want to see him develop into like a mid-range jump shooter. You know what I mean? I want to see his game kind of develop, and it'll come with time. It'll come with time.
I was about to say, I think that'll come with time.
Yeah. As a whole, what's worked as this team? What has this team excelled on?
Turning the ball over
successfully.
What is successfully turnovers?
Yeah,
successful turnovers. No, I mean, I think I heard at the beginning of the season that they said they want to get at least 50 shots up a game, like 53 pointers up a game. And like Scott said earlier, like the last game they shot 47 shots from 3. And, I think we're not a 3-point team, but hey, we're shooting them. So keep letting them fly from 3.
Yeah. Again, you're going to have those games where you miss them all, but you're going to have games where you hit them all. It's just a matter of trying to make it the other way around. So, Scott, what's worked?
They're finally doing Billy's offense. I don't think they have the right pieces to run it right now, but they're not playing ISO ball anymore, or most of the game they're not playing ISO ball.
Right. Yeah.
They're getting up open shots. They're passing the ball around. They're not just holding the ball for 17 seconds and then just throwing it out to someone and then chucking up a bad shot. So they're getting looks. They're passing the ball around. Like Dan said, they're shooting way more threes. They can't hit them right now, but Kobe will bounce back. Io is shooting like 0.6% from three this year. He'll bounce back.
Yeah.
I think P. Wills will start hitting more. I did love Smith shooting threes. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Speaking of which, okay, I'll say this, and while we're on Jalen Smith, perfect player comparison to Jalen Smith. Ready for it? Horace Grant. Perfect comparison.
Is it because he has glasses? It's the glasses, isn't it? It's the goggles. It's the goggles.
It's the
That's the only reason you said him.
It's the goggles.
It's
the goggles. It's the build. It's like the
I could see
demeanor.
some Horace.
Yeah, but Horace Grant was a way better player.
Oh, most definitely. But again, this is also Jalen Smith's third, fourth year.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, and look at what he's doing in his third and fourth year. Jalen Smith could just as easily, if Vooch wasn't on this team, Jalen Smith could be our starter.
Well, he might be our starter later in the year, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now, on to some so sad news, but what has not worked as a team? We've seen a lot of tactics. What hasn't been working?
I don't know why they don't feed Vooch in the post. Like, Vooch is I understand not giving the ball to Vooch when he's on at the top of the key, like in the past 3-point line and everything. But if you see Vooch posted up, give him the ball. Like, as much as I talk shit about Vooch, like, he's a good post-up player. So I don't know why we're not feeding him the post. Other than that, I mean, we're playing Bulls basketball. I mean, we're losing games. I really like what hasn't worked is pretty much everything else hasn't worked.
Right. I mean, how many times? I mean, we all watch the games. I don't know. We find the game. I shouldn't say we watch. We find the game.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard to find this year. But how many times a game do you hear Stacey King say they need to feed Vooch? They need to find Vooch. Vooch was wide open. Yeah, you hit the three, but instead of settling for that, tough 3-point shot, get the easy bucket down low. I mean, Vooch is very, very good. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. Vooch is very, very good at picking up the mismatch where it's, it's mouse in the house. He's towering over the defender.
Yeah.
Or they're just going up against a smaller center, much like the Pelicans game. I think Herb Jones is way smaller than Vooch, and we were barely feeding the guy. So they need to do a lot better job of recognizing Vooch in the paint.
Mm-hmm.
So, Scott, what hasn't worked?
One thing, State kind of feeding Vooch in the post, but they go down low or they'll drive and then they dish it out to a three instead of trying to take an easy layup.
Yep.
Which that's how the game's going, where a 3-point shot's worth more than two. So it makes sense to do it, but get an easy basket when you can get an easy basket.
Yeah. If it's a wide open lane and you're driving and then you kick it out, then you would just wasted a possession. In my opinion,
Javon Carter.
Yeah, too many force passes too.
Yeah.
It seems like they don't know how to run plays.
Right.
So they're kind of just like, there's not enough off the ball movement. There's just, I don't know. It's Bulls basketball. I just don't think Billy's the right coach, or his offense doesn't work in the NBA.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the only time he's been successful is he had 3 Hall of Famers on his team.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to talk about his college days.
No.
Well, again, college, you can run a college offense in college. You can't just like what's his name? The mayor? His offense
Fred
didn't work
Hoiberg.
either.
No.
Yeah. And guess what? He went to Nebraska.
In college.
Yeah, he went to Nebraska and he brought them to the tournament. And they did decently well. You can be a college coach, but the offense always doesn't work in the NBA.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Calipari's not in the NBA because it didn't work.
Coach just K. About to mention him. Coach K. Yep.
Yeah.
Now, people can argue, Coach K, but Coach K coached NBA players in the Olympics. The Olympics, going up against in the Olympics, is not the same as facing 15 NBA pros on a daily basis. Okay.
even
some
the
of these
rules
teams are playing
different.
exactly. Rules are different, and some of these teams, like there is not one NBA starter on these teams. Like when you're playing a team like I don't know, whatever, like South Sudan had one NBA player on there, and he wasn't even a true and tried and true NBA player. He was a G League player, Carleague Jones.
Yeah.
So
he was like our third string on the ball,
yeah,
wasn't he?
Yeah.
no, yeah, he was like the garbage minute player. He was a better John Lucas III. I'll wait for it.
Facts. Anyone is.
Yeah. So again, like Scott was saying, just because you are dominating in college and you've won a couple national championships and all that, it doesn't translate into the NBA. You're playing people with, on average, 8 years of experience. You know, I mean, the average team has what? If you're good, you leave right away. College, at most, you can have somebody that's played 3 years. You know what I mean?
Should they have a rule where, like, if you're a college coach and you want to come to the NBA, then you have to like do at least like 2 years of assistant coaching?
No, that would make no sense.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't know.
It is a good thought. It is a good thought.
Get your footing.
Yeah. No, it's a good thought. Like similar to if you want to be in the NBA, you have to play a year or two of college before you can declare. Right. No, that's a good point. And kind of like intern as a coach, it's not a bad idea. Actually, I'll let fans, you decide. Do you think that's a good idea? Should coaches have some sort of like initiation process?
Or am I just a big old dum-dum?
And speaking of big old dum-dums here, we're moving on to Zach LaVine. Gentlemen.
All right.
All kidding aside, we're moving on to Zach LaVine. He has shown a different side of Zach LaVine than I saw last year and years before. He's looked like he's stepping up and emerging as that, trying to be the leader and trying to put his best foot forward, despite all the controversy, despite the injuries, despite whatever rumors there was that he wasn't getting along with DeMar. Zach LaVine is trying his best and playing some phenomenal basketball at that. So, gentlemen, question I have for you guys about Zach LaVine is, what are your thoughts? Scott?
I think he's back to what he used to be, but he's being more of a team player. The last couple of years, he was playing iso ball, just like what we were doing last year with DeRozan. And he seems to be buying into the system of, I don't need the last shot. I can give it up to anybody. I trust them. If they need me to score, I'll score. But it also doesn't work all the time because the team is lacking scoring in so many other places. So him not going out there and scoring 25, 30 points a game is kind of hurting us.
Right.
But it's helping the rest of the team get the chance to make shots.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. Like, I've noticed a certain like maturity to Zach LaVine now, where instead of being, like you guys said, me, I'm going to play Zach LaVine basketball, he's playing team basketball. He's trying to emerge as that leader. And I don't know if it's because the DeRozan thing, I don't know if it's the trade thing, trying to bring his, whatever it is, Zach LaVine is playing Zach LaVine basketball. And I've said it before on prior casts and prior shorts that the Bulls fans need to understand that this team is 100% better with Zach LaVine on the team. Because as we said, you're not going to trade Zach LaVine and get a better version of Zach LaVine in a trade. If we trade a disgruntled Zach LaVine and a player that's not bought into our system and comes with all these regret or all these rebuttal or whatever you want to call it, anger problems, you're going to lose because teams are going to pick up on that. And suddenly the value for him will tank. So the best thing Zach LaVine can do, not only for himself, but for the Chicago Bulls organization, is just play the best basketball you can. And it'll be rewarded. So
I think he's definitely trying to show. He did it last year before he went out with injury. His last injury is I can be a team player. And he showed it last year for whatever that 10-game stretch, and then he shut himself down so he wouldn't get traded to the Pistons. but he's definitely showing that he can join any team and be a contributor. So I think he's definitely trying to bump up his trade value, but it's still going to be following him this stigma of he loses. So do teams want him because is adding Zach LaVine really going to help you? Like adding DeRozan to the Kings, has that really helped him that much?
I think it's too early to tell between me and you.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll have to, once there's a little bit more like games decided in the stretch, like I could see people saying, yeah, it benefited. I'll say this though, that if Zach LaVine made half his salary, not even half his salary, if he made just 20 million a year, we'll just say that he's a rock star. You know what I mean? No one has any complaints, but the fact that I forgot who said it. It was one of the interviews I did, but you're only as good as your highest paid player. And obviously we know Zach LaVine is our highest paid player, making 40 million a year. So when you have a $40 million a year player that's disgruntled, sitting on the sideline, forget about injuries. Injuries are going to happen, but it's not good for your organization. But accordingly, you know what I mean? Zach is better than that. I'll just say that Zach is better than that. And I don't think that he was done justice with all the controversies last year, but it looks like he's back. Josh Giddey, newly joined to the team. What do you guys think? I'll get, how about this? I'll give you my input first for once.
Yeah.
I like Josh Giddey. I think that Josh Giddey with time is going to become a key player in this rotation. And I really, really like that the Bulls didn't offer him a contract, or rather they didn't reach a deal on a contract, but I think he has tremendous court vision. I think his passing is very good. The only thing about Josh Giddey I'd like to improve is I wish he was able to finish at the basket a little better. So, but what do you guys think?
God, I wish he could finish at the basket, period. Like, I saw him miss a wide open layup a couple of times, and it's just one of those bang your head against the table. But yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat as you with Giddey. I like Giddey. I heard through the grapevine that it just takes some time with him to, like he needs to get going through the season before you're actually going to see like what this kid can actually do. But yeah, just his I almost said like offensive side, but like that has passing. But no, it's mainly just his shot. He needs to get like in the gym with our shooting coach and just run drills for like hours on hours. And then defense, he's not good at defense at all. Plays
again,
total. He has that James Harden defense.
Yeah. But again, he's still young. These are all
he's
things
still
that
young.
can come with time. Scott, are you giddy about Giddey?
No Giddey.
Scott's just speechless from that. Sorry for the dad pun. That was just
Really, he's not been that bad. Like he still struggles with shooting. He's had several possessions where he's shown that he can be a quality defender, but there's a lot of times that he gets beat with the pick and roll, and he struggles with switching, and then he doesn't always defend the perimeter super well. But really, I think he needs the ball more. He needs to be able to run the offense more. Like I said earlier, he's not doing that completely because we're still letting Kobe or Zach run the offense and expecting him to be a spot-up shooter, which is what he struggled with in OKC. So the more we can let him run the offense, the better. So I think we'll end up re-signing him. Like right now, he's averaging 15 points a game, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. That's pretty solid.
He almost had a triple-double during that game, right?
Yeah. So I think he'll end up with 16, 17 points a game, like 5 assists. 5, 6 rebounds, maybe even more.
Yeah.
He might actually start averaging like 7 assists if they actually let him run the offense. But
Yeah,
we'll see. I think it was a good trade.
yeah. I think I agree. Providing that we actually re-sign him and don't let him walk, because my biggest fear is that we're going to end up letting this young man walk, and the Alex Caruso trade would have been for nothing. But I'm hoping that the Bulls just wanted to see what this young man has, and hopefully it translates to a successful season and a successful signing. So our last piece here, Lonzo Ball. We've talked about it, but you got to talk about it, man. What have you seen of Lonzo Ball so far? What do you like?
Everything. I like everything I've seen.
I asked the wrong person.
No, for real. I do like everything I've seen from Lonzo because the man's missed over 1,000 days of basketball. What, like 2 years, 2.5 years,
2 and some change. Two years, 50 games.
Literally has a brand new knee. So, and the fact that he's still doing all the little things. He's making all these great passes, making great plays, pushing the ball up the court.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I expect nothing more from him, especially
Right.
coming off that injury. So he's killing it. The NBA is better with Lonzo. I'll say that.
I like it.
So yeah, just stay healthy, Lonzo. That's all I ask.
Yeah.
Stay as healthy as your body will allow you.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, when you hit it right on the head, when you have a player that has a procedure done by Lonzo, because you guys got to also remember, I know you guys know, but Lonzo Ball had a procedure done that nobody has ever had done and returned to professional sports before. So he, in for all intents and purposes, is a pioneer paving the way for these types of surgeries to happen in the future. Since since it's translating to great success with Lonzo, you may see more and more players that, whose career would have been cut short. Now they get a few extra years of playing because of such a successful procedure. So, but Scott, what's your take?
The one thing I was surprised about Lonzo is he doesn't seem like he's afraid to do anything. Like, you would expect someone coming back from a rebuilt knee to be afraid to jump into the crowd for a ball, or like cut to the basket, or try to do any of that. And he doesn't seem afraid to do that, which is great. And if he comes back and becomes a successful NBA player, I doubt he'll be what he used to be, but this is going to be a surgery named after him. Like, this has never been done. It's going to be like Tommy John surgery that players go and do. It's good.
Yeah.
So he's still he's struggling with his shooting, and that's one thing that he was the best. He was our best 3-point shooter, and right now he is struggling with his shooting. But he'll get that back. But because the whole team's struggling right now,
that's probably just rust from Lonzo.
But again, I mean, how struggling are we? Because like we've played 3 playoff caliber teams. Like, make no mistake, I know the Pelicans was probably the easiest team we've played. All the other ones have been either top 4 or top teams in their conference, and I'd like to think that we handled every team, with the exception of the Thunder, very well. So I mean,
I don't think the Bucks are. Well, I don't think the Bucks are a top team. I actually saw a stat today that Doc Rivers took over the Bucks. They were 32-14, and he led them. Since then, they are 18-21 under Doc Rivers.
Geez. Is it too late to call Adrian Griffin?
They should have never. They should have never fired. Well, they should have never fired Budenholzer.
What?
I agree with that.
But that's not the point. They're not shooting terribly, but there's too many struggles with this team.
Yeah. But again, it's still very early on in the season. Dan Gracey having a field day over there. It's still very early in the season. I mean, again, we've played 3 games, about to play 4 tonight. So we'll see. I can only see this team getting better or falling into place, one of the two. So
I mean, I'm fine with the Bulls being bad. I don't want them to be as bad as they were last year, like where it's like hard to watch them. Like, be bad, but be at least fun.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like we have so many athletic players.
Yeah.
There's no reason why you be fast but be bad at the same time, you know? Like I'm not wishing that the Bulls would tank. I just want them to be
better.
Fun. I just want them to be fun basketball.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because I said it. I think I said it with you guys earlier on. I think it was at the end of last season. I said, I don't need the Bulls to be good this year, but at least make every game interesting and make it look like we have a direction. I at least want to see, like, okay, we need to improve on this, and we do it. You know, I want to learn from our mistakes. I don't want to see people out there making the same mistake we do on a nightly basis. And so far that's been the case. I.e., not covering the perimeter when we leaving open shooters. We're leaving open elite riflemen open, and we're shocked that they make the shot. We're forcing passes and committing 20 turnovers a game. You can't do that. If you look at the team that won the NBA championship last year, the Boston Celtics, I want somebody to write to me and tell me how many games did the Boston Celtics commit 20 or more turnovers in. I want to know. Okay. And it's going to surprise you, but probably 0, because you cannot be a championship team and commit 20 plus turnovers a game.
I think the last time the Celtics probably came close to having 20 turnovers was probably when Marcus Smart was on the team.
Probably.
I'm not, that's not
really you're right
on Marcus. It's just
that's
they weren't a championship team yet.
Yeah. So we'll see. Like I said, still a very young season. I hope we can work the kinks out and have a fun season. Not a successful one, but just a fun one. But
it doesn't have just make it
interesting.
If I'm scowling like going to the dark corners of the internet just to watch a Bulls game, at least make it enjoyable when I do, find the site and everything.
Yeah, if I got to sit through 4 or 5 pop-up ads, if I want to increase the size of my mail organ, I at least want to have fun while doing it. Is that just me? Does anyone else get those? Increase that blue chew.
Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, we're not sponsored by them, but say it. Unless they want to sponsor us. I mean, I'm not going to take it, but
I'll
anyway.
Take it. I mean, it works fine, but I mean,
gentlemen, it is time for Ask a Horniak. For those of you who don't know who Ask a Horniak is, we ask you guys to ask us questions, and we answer it, and we give you a shout out. We have 3 of them today. First one coming from Scott A., our fan from down under. What's going on, Scott? And Scott asks, where do you think the Chicago Bulls rank in terms of a home court advantage in the NBA? For example, I think of the Utah and Denver as both having a strong advantages while playing at home.
That's
Scott
true.
A., another phenomenal question. Phenomenal.
That's true.
Dan, where do we rank as far as home court advantage?
Well, you would think that we would, would be high just because the Bulls are always at the top of the list for attendance and everything. But I mean, can I throw it over to Scotty Berman because he has the numbers?
Yeah, Scotty B. What do you got?
Bottom 5. That's what I would say.
Okay.
I didn't want to be the bearer of bad news.
Yeah.
Elaborate.
I actually looked up the Bulls home and away splits for the last 3 years.
Okay.
And we actually score 0.2 more points a game away in the last 3 years.
Okay.
Field goal percentage is the same. We shoot 30% from 3 in both. So there's no difference. It's basically the same stats home and away. So I would say bottom 3, bottom 5. Like, no one's afraid to come to Chicago. No one feels the energy from the crowd because it may be a sellout crowd, but I think a lot of those fans are just people in town just saying, hey, we should go see the Bulls.
Or like some business meeting thing.
Yeah.
Like,
that's one of the
yeah. There's nothing like we don't have something like the Wall that they have in LA. We don't have that fan section that they have in Milwaukee. We just have people that just watch the game. And anytime I go to a Bulls game, it's not loud. It's not obnoxious. It's not like there's not an atmosphere. Right. It's kind of just you're just watching the game.
Right.
That's kind of one of the curses of having a team in a major market is you're going to have your true fans there. Like, don't get me wrong. There are true fans that legitimately follow the team religiously and come out to the game and cheer it. Don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't be surprised if a large majority of that crowd is just people, like Dan said, you're in town for the game and we're going to go to a game. Who's on the team? I don't know, but we're going to a Bulls game. Because we have 6 banners hanging up in the stadium, we spawned the greatest NBA player of all time in Michael Jordan. So why not go watch a game? So yeah, that intimidation factor goes out the window. So I agree with you, but where would I rank us? Okay. I'd put us in the top half. And the reason why is this: we sell out stadiums. So we're doing something right. We're just good enough to be in the top half because there's teams that are having a hard time selling out their stadium. And we've been doing that on a consistent basis, even in the years where we were winning games in the teens. Okay. So I can't say that we're bottom just because of that aspect alone, but I will say we're at the bottom of the top half because, like Scott said, and those numbers don't lie, our home court advantage isn't really contributing to more points. Now, if I could see if Scott said, we're scoring 20 more points a game and shooting 20% better from the field when we're at home, then I would say we're in the upper echelon. But until that day comes, I'd still put us at the bottom of the top half. So, Scott, really good stat there. Really good. Yeah. Scott, the numbers, man. And Scott A, really good question. I love that one.
By the way, I do have an answer for you for the Celtics.
Okay.
They've had in the last 3 years, they've had 4 games with 20 turnovers. Mm-hmm. Only one of them have been over 20, and they've won every single one of those games.
Oh my jeez. That's insane. Considering the
Celtics. But 4 games. I found 4 games.
4 games in the last 3 years that they've given up 20 plus turnovers. That is outrageous.
It's all like 11, 14, 10.
Oh man.
That's why they're the reigning champs.
Exactly. And that's why they're consistently on a yearly basis the favorite to win it all, just because they take care of the basketball.
Well, I mean, past couple of years, not like last year, but like, was it the year before? And before that was the Bucks to be the favorites.
Oh, to win it all?
Yeah.
I don't even know if the Bucks were the favorite to win it all when they won it all.
No, I don't think they were.
That's true.
Not saying they're a bad team.
No,
I'm just saying, like, I don't think I ever remember them being a favorite to win it. But
they have bad coaching, but
they had good coaching and then they got rid of them. But Scott B with more numbers. Jeez.
Yeah.
And Scott A, thank you for your question, Scott A. It's incredible that Scott A is in Australia and he still is a diehard fan. So shout out to all our international fans. Scott A,
yes, sir.
C Red Bulls. You guys are what makes this sport special. So
yeah.
Moving on to our next question comes from one of our favorite listeners, and it is Q from the Let's Talk Bulls podcast. Q, we're still working on that live, fella. We got to get you on. We love your questions. We love talking to you. We got to bring you on that live. But Q asks, will Matas be treated like the next Lauri Markkanen? A big that Billy will do his best to make a catch and shoot player. So do you think Matas Buzelis will be the next Lauri Markkanen, a catch and shoot guru? Dan Gracey, you're on the clock.
I hope not, because that means he's gonna be traded and just go off on every other team except for the Bulls.
It's Probably the best answer.
I think that Bruzelis is, I don't want to say like more athletic, but I'm going to say more athletic than Laurie. Like their games are, I feel like their games are different.
Very similar.
And
very different. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, oh shit. And I feel like, at least from what I saw in preseason for Bruzelis, he seems very confident in himself.
Mm-hmm.
The games that he did play during the regular season so far, he did seem kind of out of place, but I mean that'll come. I mean he's a rookie. It's his first time.
Yeah.
He'll figure it out. I mean the game probably looks like it's going 1,000 miles an hour right now to him.
Yeah.
So he'll figure it out, but I don't think Billy will use him the same way that he used Laurie for like the half season that Billy was here and Laurie was here.
Yeah. Yeah. You also got to understand that the kid has played only 3 NBA games.
Right.
3. 1, 2, 3. And of which I don't think he's even registered a full quarter of play yet. I mean, he played 5-6 minutes.
I think I've only seen him play twice out of the 3 games.
Yeah. So, I mean, he'll get it together. It's growing pains. But Scott, what do you think?
He should kind of be a pick and pop kind of player.
Yeah. I like it.
So, yes, he should kind of be like Markkanen, but
should be like
he doesn't have a Lamar Odom type player.
Okay.
Like he doesn't have any like you said, he can't drive right now. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have any post game, so he needs to be able to shoot. And that was his big thing in high school was he was a crazy shooter.
Yep.
And he's struggled since he got to the G League and even in the Bulls. So hopefully he can get some time. I wouldn't be surprised if they send him down to the G League for a bit just to get some playing time.
No harm in that.
Because like as much as people say, oh, he's a top pick, he shouldn't be down there. Get him some playing time, get him some confidence. Like the G League is no joke. Like these players are playing as hard as they can to get in the NBA. So they're still good players.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
would you rather send down Bruzelis or Dalen Terry to the G League?
I would cut Dalen Terry.
Yeah, I feel
what's the point of sending him to the G League? He's been on the team for 4 years. Have you seen any development from him?
From Dalen?
He looks like
I couldn't tell you the difference between him as a rookie and now.
Yeah, right. That's a very good point.
Same.
Yeah. But that thing with Matas, I mean, that might be a little precursor as to why he slipped so far down in draft. I mean, yeah, I guess what was it? There was an injury, whatever, but maybe these scouts are professionals. They see players every day. So I'm sure a lot of it was a contributing factor to why he slipped as low as he did. Maybe a little bit of intimidation factor, who knows? But as far as Lauri Markkanen is concerned, I don't want to see him become a Lauri Markkanen. I want to see him become more of his other player comparison I had, and that's Andre Karolinko. I want to see him become that character, that enforcer, that can shoot from anywhere on the court and can put up 20 plus points a night. And rock a sweet dragon tattoo on his back. I want to see him.
I thought you were gonna say bowl cut.
Yeah. Which segue? Can we all just agree that what the hell did you do to your hair, Matas? Your hair was a lot better with the skater cut, man.
Yeah, I don't know if that was some like rookie haze thing going on.
I don't know
what.
He looks like a dork.
Like, dude, you look like a dweeb.
Yeah, for real though. But yeah, no, I hope he develops more into a Karolinko than a Markkanen. Now, Markkanen's not a bad player. Don't get me wrong. He was an all-star, but I kind of want to see. I want to see him become like a Karolinko and grabbing rebounds and all that. I want to see a little bit more out of Matas, especially after how much hype was beyond him. Q, thank you for your question, man. I appreciate the questions. Keep them coming. our next question comes to a guest that's near and dear to me, and that's my own brother. My own brother asked a very good question, and I can't wait. Yeah. So, Louis, this one's for you. Louis asks, how do you guys feel about the lack of logo update? The logo hasn't been changed ever, so do you guys think it's time for a refresh, or has it been too long with the same or too iconic logo where anything else or a reband would just look weird? That's a good question. It's a very good question.
Talking about the Chicago Bulls logo?
Yeah, so as you know, we're the only
Bullhead?
franchise in NBA history that has never changed their logo, or their normal jerseys look the same too. We've never really changed anything about our franchise. So do you think that it's time, or do you think that at this point we're too far in and we should just never change it?
I don't think they should ever change it. I think it's iconic. I think like you see that and you know exactly what, you know, like you see the Bulls logo and you know that's the Bulls logo.
Yeah.
It's like the Bulls are a global brand.
Yeah.
So yeah. I wouldn't not change it. I don't think they should ever change it.
Okay. Scott?
No, don't never change it, because what Michael Jordan did, everybody knows the Bulls as that. You get a new logo, you're going to lose.
You're going to lose a shit ton of like international fans. And
you're not going to lose the fans. You're going to lose the recognition of people that don't watch basketball. Like when I was in the UK, I saw a bunch of Bulls stuff. Well, not a bunch, but that was the only NBA team. If you change the logo, people aren't going to think, oh, what is this? I'm going to get it. Oh, Michael Jordan, a new logo, Michael Jordan. No, they're not going to think that. They're going to be like, oh, I don't know what this is. I don't care.
Right.
So no, there's no need to change it. It's kind of funny because the Blackhawks, same thing. Best logo in sports. Don't ever change it. The Cubs, I don't think they'll ever change their logo.
Right.
Like, what's the point?
The Sox have changed their logo. Yeah, they're not going to be a team. They're moving to Nashville.
They're the worst team.
Yeah, they're moving to Nashville. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. I think that if you lose 130 games a year, you shouldn't even have a logo. So, I mean,
fair.
So, but here's the thing, and I like that Scott brought this up because I'm with you guys. I think it's too late. But I think it's too late in a sense of the Bulls should have changed the logo. If they had any desire to change the logo, they should have changed it immediately after Mike left in order to separate the eras. Like if we would have been due for a logo change, it should have been immediately after Mike left. You do a rebrand then. And that's to kind of separate the iconic
like
Chicago Bulls history from our new
kind of thing.
Right. Correct. Because like Scott said, now we're too far into it where any sort of change, it's going to basically, I don't want to say tarnish it, but it's not going to be recognizable. Jersey, I wouldn't mind like jersey, change up the jersey a little bit, just because of the fact that much like the Boston Celtics, we've kept our jersey the same. And I'll be honest with you, I love our color scheme to the jerseys, but they're kind of boring. I'm sorry. Like I love the Bulls, but they're boring. Like even the court, like who has it? That's got the skyline at the bottom of the court. Is that Cleveland? Dallas. Okay. Well, whoever it is, they have like,
I think Cleveland does too. Multiple teams do.
Yeah. Like, okay. You see how like the Denver Nuggets, they have like the Mile High, they have the 5280 on the court. Like I would like to see a better court. Like you can change aspects about the franchise without completely rebranding, like a skyline on the court, or like the Chicago Stars. Like I would like to see more of the Chicago, like our 6-pointed stars incorporated. I think that would be cool.
Don't they do that? Don't they do that already?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, yeah, they got the 4 little stars on the court on the bottom, but I mean like on the court itself, like you know how like you know how some court has like those ghost patches where it's like a faint white and you can see it. Yeah. Like that would be cool to have that in the in the free throw area or the restricted area. Something.
I would like to see the Chicago skyline on the court. I think just because I think we have one of the best skylines in the United States.
We have the greatest skyline. I'm just going to say it.
It's the greatest.
We have the greatest skyline.
I think that too. I just don't want to be like overly cocky.
It's not overly cocky. We've got the greatest skyline. The Sears. Okay, here's the thing. Unless the Brooklyn Bridge is in like the silhouette, nobody recognizes the New York skyline. Nobody recognizes the Los Angeles skyline. The only skyline that you can recognize is the Chicago skyline because of the Sears Tower. And I'll throw in
recognize the Seattle.
Yeah, that was the one I was going to throw in, is Seattle because of the Space Needle. But like, it's such an iconic skyline. It's a beautiful
St.
skyline.
Louis. You can recognize
the
Louis,
arch. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There's more.
Unless you have some sort of iconic building.
Right. I'm speaking more, of course, of teams that actually have an NBA team, or cities that have an NBA team. Rather.
Ooh, sorry, Tim.
Like, it's a beautiful skyline. Let's throw it on the court somewhere. Let's show love for our city. The Bean. Let's put the Bean somewhere on the court. Come on, man.
No, there's no need for that.
They're gonna fucking.
They're gonna end up with that red ass court that they use in the.
Oh, I hope not.
The stupid in-season tournament. They're going to be like, oh, people like it. We're going to make the court red, just like how Brooklyn made the court or gray.
Like gray. Side note, Brooklyn's court is ugly. I'm sorry if you're a Brooklyn Nets fan and you're listening to this. Your court is ugly. The color scheme, the herringbone. No. Okay, if any team needs a rebrand, Brooklyn Nets, what are you doing? Your logo is a B.
Yeah, I like how simple it is.
It's like, what is it? Your logo is a basketball with a letter B in Times Roman or whatever Arial, whatever stock Microsoft Word font.
Well, you also got to remember, like, when they did the whole quote unquote rebrand and move from New Jersey to Brooklyn, like, that was kind of like this. I want to say that was like the style back then, and that's also back when like Jay-Z owned the team, and he was trying to do all these edgy, modern things.
Yeah, dude, you could do like so much with that team. It's a net. I think your logo doesn't even have a net in the logo.
I think every season the Brooklyn Nets should do at least one game where they're the Swamp Dragons.
Oh yeah, I like it. But seriously, like, I see a lot of concepts going out there on Instagram where, like, there's this one woman who, like, will take every team's logo and she'll redo it. And I want to say it was her that redid the Nets and incorporated like the subway colors, and it was incredible. Like, that was really cool. But she also takes like national landmarks of that city or historic things to the city, and she'll put it in the logo somewhere. Funny, because actually she redid the Bulls logo. I wasn't a fan of it, but it doesn't take away from how gifted this woman is. And she incorporated like the Jordan shrug as part of the nose. She incorporated like the bean. The bean I love very much. She put two beans as the nostril. It was the nostril of the bull. Like, it was really cool. Like
no, she's very creative in everything. Every time I've seen one of her rebrands or whatever, it's very creative, very thoughtful, and it's very tasteful. But the Bulls one, like, it was creative, but I don't think they should ever do it. She's done other ones, like for the NFL. I think she did one for the Broncos, and I was just like, fuck yeah, that looks dope. Why don't they do that? Yeah.
The one she did for the Bears where she incorporated like Ditka's sweater and Ditka's glasses in it. I mean, again, the Bears might just have another one of those logos where it's too iconic to change, so they're not going to change it, and that's fine. I like the team more than just for their logo.
We'll spend all this time hyping this girl up and not give her a handle out. Like, I don't have her social on me. I would share it, but I don't have it on me.
If we find it, we'll tag her in this and show her some love. Louis, thank you for the question. That was a great question. So short answer, it's working, so keep it how it is. No matter how terrible we are, no matter how good we are, the Bulls are a thriving franchise. So
making that money.
Before we jump away from that, Sal, you were talking about like putting the skyline on it.
Yeah.
The perfect example of doing that is what the New York Liberty did, where they had the like crown of the Statue of Liberty on their court.
On the jump circle or at the bottom?
No, it wasn't on the jump circle. It was kind of like the middle of the court, like on the sideline. It was just like the crown part.
Yeah.
That's the type of thing that they should be doing.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you don't have to like completely change it. Like, there for a while, the Milwaukee Bucks had that annoying, like, was that like that triangle thing, like those points? If you remember, you remember. If you know, you know. Like, look it up, Dan. Like, not.
Oh,
now,
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're
yeah.
talking about. Yeah.
They had those, and I thought they were really cool, but like those were annoying. Like, I thought it was a cool concept, but I'm like, it really is irrelevant. If you're gonna put something on the court, make it like relevant, like the skyline, like 5280 for Mile High City.
Well, literally, look at Dallas's court.
Yeah,
you'll see the Dallas skyline. Just do that, but with the Chicago skyline.
Yeah.
Just copy paste.
Fun fact: there's probably at least a dozen people who probably didn't know that 5280 was because they called Denver the Mile High City, and 5,280 feet equal 1 mile. Fun fact.
Neat.
Learn something new every day. Neat.
Yeah.
Thank you all to send us a Horniak question. If you're interested in sending us a Horniak question, reach out to us on our socials, text us, or send us an email or comment on one of our videos. We love reading your comments. You guys have such good comments. Moving on to everybody's favorite segment of our show, Mount Hornsmore. And fun fact is Louis actually helped me with this Hornsmore too. Okay.
Ooh.
I was going to go with something else, but this one had to reign supreme here. So give me, gentlemen, your Mount Hornsmore, your top 5 of greatest NBA jerseys.
Oh my God. I was literally talking about this the other day with a coworker.
You were.
Okay, so this is I'm not doing any certain order. I'm just gonna name 5. It has to be in like top.
Nope, no, whatever.
Okay,
whatever.
Okay. So obviously the Bucks when the actual deer was on the jersey.
Yeah,
that's
good choice.
Sick.
Good choice.
With the green lettering and everything too, like that. I'll say that's my number 1 choice.
Good choice.
I'm not doing an order, but that's at the top. I like the Hawks when they actually had a hawk on it.
That was a good choice. Yeah.
The black 76ers jersey.
Yeah, the AI jerseys. Yeah.
The teal Pistons jersey.
Oh, with the actual like stallion on it?
Yeah.
Yes, the Grand Hills. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. What's your last one?
The last one has to be Pinstripes Bulls.
I like it. Great set of answers there. Oh man, that's a good one. Scott?
Iverson Pistons, the black ones.
Iverson Pistons or Iverson Sixers?
Or Sixers, yeah, Iverson Sixers.
All right. He was on the Pistons.
You have to do the purple Raptor, like the
yes,
yeah. It's hard to do a top 5 because I could easily keep going.
Yeah, I like those. The Muggsy Bogues, Charlotte Hornets jersey is great with the stripes.
Yes, with Larry Johnson.
The teal ones or the white ones?
The teal.
Okay.
Yeah. Really, it's just a bunch of old school jerseys.
Yeah.
Right. Like they knew what they were doing in the 90s.
They really do. Like even I'm kind of actually looking just old jerseys, like the old Suns jersey with the like with the basketball,
the actual sun.
That one's sick. Great.
Yeah.
You could the Timberwolves one that with the KG Timberwolves, the black and the like the green on the arms. It's a great jersey.
Trees.
Yeah. The trees. Yeah. Is that your 5 then? You had 2 more.
You have to do the black pinstripe Bulls.
Yes.
And then I'm going to say the 90s Jazz jerseys with the mountains.
Yes.
Ooh,
yes.
That's nice.
Scott coming in from left field with that one. Yes. All great answers. So mine are not in any particular order except number 1. Like number 1, this is by far the best jersey ever made. But number 5, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna piggyback off of Scott's, and I'm gonna do the Houston Rockets, where they actually had the rocket on them.
Yeah,
those were pretty cool. Obviously, the Iverson Sixers. I was a big fan of AI, so it's only fitting. But the black one, though, I really wasn't a fan of their white one.
Yeah, it's got to be the black one. The black one's best.
Yeah, and a lot of these jerseys, it's more the logo that did it for me than the actual jersey. But third, I'm gonna take a page out of Dan's book and do the Milwaukee Bucks with the buck on it. Fun fact: I almost bought a Monte Ellis version of that because I was a huge Monte Ellis. Still am a huge Monte Ellis fan, but then let me see. Who's my second? I mean, probably got to go just how iconic it is, the pinstripe Bulls one, just because as a fan back then, whenever you saw Jordan step on the court rocking that pinstripe black Chicago Bulls jersey, like you knew it was going down that night. And it was just an incredible memory. But the number one best jersey of all time is this year's Toronto Raptors jersey with the Raptor depicted, like with Vince Carter being depicted as a Raptor when he did the between the legs. By far the best jersey ever made. It was between the legs.
Yeah, but is it called the Honey Dip?
I don't know what it's called. I wish I knew more about what it was called. I just know it's phenomenal. And I'm not a big proponent of buying jerseys. As you know, I'm not big into buying jerseys because I don't want awful things to happen to players, but I would love to get that jersey. And I'm going to throw an honorable mention out to you guys because, and actually shame on you, Scott, for not remembering this one. The Vancouver Grizzlies one.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
yeah. The Vancouver.
How do you feel about the Gold Kings jerseys?
Oh, when they were the
2000s. God, the worst jersey ever.
That was
I thought you were going to say the Kings had a jersey where it was black, white, and purple, but it was checkered.
Oh, yeah. Where it was like half. It was half and half, and the sides were checkered.
Yeah, it was just like there's way too much going on in this thing. And what are you doing?
Yeah. Other than that, like the Seattle Supersonics, that one was a pretty cool one when they had like the actual Space Needle as the eye. That one was pretty cool. Really, there's been a lot of cool, like an underappreciated one was when the Spurs were still like the teal, the pink, and the orange. Like that one was good. The Orlando Magic when Shaq was in there with the eight, you know what I mean?
With the I had that.
The white with the pinstripes.
Yes. Or like, like Dan said, the Atlanta Hawks.
The Bullets jersey's great.
The Washington Bullets jersey is really good. It'll never be called that again.
Can't do that. Thanks a lot, Gilbert.
What's another good one? There's been dozens. Like
there's
the old school Portland jerseys that Clyde Drexler used to rock. I mean, those were sick. So yeah,
the Raptors aren't selling that jersey yet.
Well, yeah, I'm assuming it's after they rock them for the first time. They'll put them on. But yeah. All very, very, very good jerseys. Okay, this also might surprise you, but I see a lot of jerseys like this in Chicago. The early 2000s Washington Wizards jersey, the blue with like the 20, like I see a lot of Jordan 23s. Yeah, where they actually had the wizard on it. Like that was pretty sick.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah.
The dark blue and
gold.
Yeah. No.
What do you mean no?
I was not a fan of that jersey.
Really?
I'm a fan. I like the rebrand that the Wizards have done.
You like that Rainbow Nuggets jersey, didn't you?
No,
that's not a shot. That's a legitimate question.
No, I know. It's not a bad jersey or anything like that, but for Nuggets, my favorite Nuggets jersey is the Mellow
Nuggets.
Yes, that was good. Those were good ones. All great jerseys. But the worst jersey of all time, I'll throw this in here: the sleeve jerseys. Any of them. They weren't
any
good.
of them.
Any of them. They were terrible.
You didn't like that Christmas Bulls jersey with just the bowl in the middle,
with just the silver giant bowl.
I don't know if it was me or my brother that had that jersey. I want to say I don't have it, so I think it's my brother that has a one like it. Maybe not.
Sorry,
he'll let me know. But or like the light blue LA Clippers jersey.
Yeah.
With the sleeves, awful.
Yeah.
Also, we needed real quick, we need to give appreciation. The new LA Clippers logos is really good. Like I really like it. Yeah, that doesn't get enough appreciation. Steve Ballmer doing it right over there.
It's crazy.
So
the man's crazy.
That was Mount
He's got money
Hornsmore.
to spend.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. So that was Mount Hornsmore. Thank you guys for participating in that. Thank you, Louis, for our first ever fan submitted Mount Hornsmore. If you would like a Mount Hornsmore and ask a Horniak, send us a DM and we'll do our best to accommodate you. We probably will do it.
Slide on in those DMs, baby.
Slide into the DMs. Slide on in there. Fellas, we've reached that sad time. It is the end of the show where we close it off and say farewell to the listeners. But before we go, Dan Gracey, as you're chugging your water over there, what do you got?
Yes. Oh, nothing. I got nothing.
You got nothing. Okay.
I'm just thinking, I got nothing.
Dan's iconic. I got nothing.
Yeah, I got nothing right now. Scott, go. Maybe I'll think of something.
We're going to be doing a collab soon with the Horse Girls. Yeah. I'm actually wearing a Horse Girl shirt right now.
Oh, is that what that? That's a cool
shirt. What
that
is? I didn't know what that was.
Yeah. They do a quiz show they do a horse quiz at the end of each episode.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what this is.
That's a nice shirt.
Okay.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Space Jam episode.
Yeah, it's going to be. We'll see. I don't know how to describe it.
It's going to be fun.
We're doing a horse quiz, so make sure you guys know your horse knowledge.
No.
I know. I feel like I know more than Sal, and that's about it when it comes to horses. I don't know if I know more.
Probably. You probably do.
Just because my parents have horses.
Yeah. Then you definitely know more than me. The only experiences with horses I have is every time I go to the bathroom to take a leak. That's the only time I know anything about horses.
I knew
this fucking asshole.
But yeah, look forward to that one. Well, that's going to do it for today's episode from all of us here at the Horns Over Hoops studio. We hope you enjoyed the show. Go and follow us on all our socials. Follow us on TikTok. I'm finally starting to get the hang of that TikTok thing. We post daily shorts on YouTube and on TikTok. It's fun making those. Leave us a comment on one of those videos and send your love. Special shout out to those who submitted an Ask a Horniak. What else I got? Oh, follow us on our Discord. We love talking on our Discord. Follow us on Twitter. Just follow us in general. Like we're cool. We're good people. But we're great people. We're good. We're cool. We're middle-aged men talking about basketball. How much cooler can you get? So
that's true. I mean, you could be a bunch of middle-aged women talking about horses. That's pretty cool.
That is very cool as well.
There's one guy on that episode on that show.
So sorry. Who is it? Austin?
No, Tim will become a horse girl, or he's becoming a horse girl.
There you go.
That sounds so much like a bro.
You can find a link to our Discord on the link tree that's on our Twitter. So if you want to join it, there's a link in there.
And do join. It's fun. Special shout out to Juice Does Everything. He's our what do you call that? Our dungeon master, our Discord master. I don't know the proper.
He's our admin.
Admin. There you go. Wow.
Dungeon master's only in Dungeons and Dragons. So.
Yeah.
He is his name on there. I think I put his role as Jerry Reinsdorf. So take it as you will.
Well, that means he's going to do a phenomenal job of building up that Discord because Jerry Reinsdorf, albeit not a good owner. Well, not a good when it comes to actually winning games. Phenomenal owner. So
maybe 30 years ago.
Yeah. Well, that's going to do it. From all of us here at the Horns Over Hoops Studios, we encourage our Bulls fans to see red and go Bulls. Good night, everybody.